Hello there! So I have been decluttering pretty much since I was 12 years old, well, with less and with more success, and I know this process can be really overwhelming sometimes, so I thought I would share with you what I learned over the years to make your journey easier with decluttering. My first tip is to choose one category of items that you want to declutter. Especially at the beginning, you have probably lots and lots of stuff. And that is why I recommend you to choose one category that you can start with and collect all those items into one place. This way you can really see what you have and what you don't have, and therefore you can decide easier what you want to keep and what you don't want to keep. Focusing on just one thing always helped me overcome the difficulties in decluttering. Just really made the entire journey easier. If you just start off decluttering your stuff without first sorting them, then you might get overwhelmed and you might just give up. That is why I recommend you to choose one category of items first. My second tip is to start small. This sounds easy, but I know from my experience it is so tempting to set yourself really impossible goals to reach. I used to decide I'm gonna declutter this entire room in one day, and my motivation with that probably lasted about an hour. After that, I just felt really bad about the mess I made, because obviously when you are decluttering, you are just basically packing all the stuff out of the closets, and it can really make a big mess. So be careful what kind of goals you are setting yourself, especially at the beginning. It is very important to start small, because then you are basically setting yourself up for success. If you start small, if you are only gonna clean up those little drawers, for example, at first, you are gonna be left with the feeling that this is not a difficult task, that you are able to do that on the long term, and this will really keep you going. My third tip is to be real about what time it is. I have been guilty myself watching decluttering videos in the middle of the night at 11 o'clock, for example, and then I get really motivated. I just want to start right away. Many times I did start decluttering about at 11 o'clock, and then after basically half an hour I'd get really sleepy. Getting excited about doing something really proactive, for example decluttering, is a great feeling. However, you should realize that tomorrow is another day, and then you should be probably going to sleep instead of starting off decluttering. Tomorrow you will be able to declutter with full energy. If you are really motivated that night and you feel like you wouldn't be able to sleep, then I recommend you to choose a really small area to declutter, and then you will be able to finish that night. And then you can keep going tomorrow. My next tip is research some decluttering techniques. For a long time I have been decluttering without reading up on it, and I don't even know if 10 years ago there was even information about decluttering. This is a question mark, I don't know that, but I feel like if I had access to information about decluttering, I probably would have been more efficient with my decluttering techniques. Of course, I got rid of a lot of stuff, but I think I would have been able to declutter more within less time. When I declutter, I consider two factors. Do I rationally need this item? And the second one is, do I really love this item? And when I was decluttering back then, I didn't really think about whether I love those things that I am getting rid of. I was just merely focusing on what I rationally need. And that makes it really difficult to declutter. And I feel like the more you declutter, the more you will have to focus on, do you really love those items? If I hadn't read up on decluttering, I probably would have never thought about using this as a factor. Do some research, you can really find techniques and mindsets that will work for you. And my fifth and final tip is that you should keep going until it feels good. There are some decluttering techniques that say that you should keep going with decluttering until you have absolutely decluttered everything and you have gone through everything. Otherwise, it is very easy to relapse. However, I think you are the only one who knows how you are feeling about decluttering. I think it is always best to declutter when you really feel the motivation. I have never forced myself to declutter. I always started off with pure enthusiasm, and I think that is the best way to declutter. After a while, you will feel the urge to declutter anyway. You will notice items on an everyday basis that you don't really love anymore and that you want to get rid of them. So I don't feel like you should force yourself to declutter. I think it is really important to keep decluttering a positive experience. After all, it is all about finding the items and the aspects of your life that you really love. These were my 5 tips for you, and if you are in the process of decluttering, please tell me how that is going, because I know it can be difficult sometimes, but I think we can really make it a positive journey. I hope these tips were helpful to you, and thank you for watching and have a very nice day.